Breaking news, Ben Mankiewicz. Derrick Rose is injured.
Oh my goodness.
Have you ever? How could this be?
Yeah, there's a big. This became a big story, I guess, in Chicago and then across the nation this week. Derrick Rose has missed 4 games already this season.
He's played in 4 and he's missed 4.
He's basically missed 2 straight years. And
Before that, yeah.
And the Bulls, as gritty as they are, they can't win with them. I mean, they can't win. They can't win a championship.
They can't win a championship. They're definitely a playoff team.
But making the playoffs, you know, I mean, the Bucks are a playoff team. So
debatable.
They made the playoffs.
But no, I don't. They can't win a championship without Derrick Rose, and it's a mild hamstring injury. I was watching the game yesterday against the Raptors, in which a game that I really thought, you know, maybe somehow the Raptors can be that sneaky team.
I think they can.
That can finish like 1 or 2 in the East. Then they played the Bulls, and Derrick Rose really sat out most of the 4th quarter. But when I was watching like that injury happen, you look at his legs. Derrick Rose has so much padding and braces and whatever you want to call them, ace bandages around both his knees. It looks like he's treading like through like the swamps when he's moving. It just looks like he has so much weight on it.
I don't know what's happening with him. It does seem that, and we hear about it from athletes, and he's now had 2 straight injuries, that it just takes a little bit for the confidence to come back. And so, but that said, I don't know. There are moments where he looks as explosive as ever.
He looks brilliant. He had the 2 double clutch fake passes that just are, of course, top 10 highlights on SportsCenter. But we're heading in the wrong direction here. Not the wrong direction, at least for Derrick Rose. He is. We hope that he gets better and plays. We all want to see a healthy Derrick Rose in the NBA.
So let's get to the controversy.
Yes.
Because here's what Derrick Rose said. Some people have read this, but I find this to be among the most amusing things I've read in some time. Derrick Rose, when explaining about how he's missed games, he got into it a little bit here. I feel I've been managing myself pretty good, he said. I know a lot of people get mad when they see me sit out, but I think a lot of people don't understand that when I sit out, it's not because of this year. I'm thinking about long term. I'm thinking about after I'm done with basketball, having graduations to go to, having meetings to go to. Let's come back to us for a brief moment. You know, it's just funny because you said meetings. And that's really what caused this to be a story. Yeah. If he doesn't say meetings, it's a little story. He said meetings, so it becomes a big story. And of course, that shouldn't matter. He's just talking. He's answering a question, right? He's participating with the press, doing what he's supposed to do, doing what we admire in an athlete. But he did say, I'm going to sit out because when I'm 38, I might have a meeting. And that's not going to go over well for a guy who missed a couple of years.
He also said he has graduations. It seems like we might be ripping apart this like out of context, but like
no, we're not ripping it out of context. It is a universally dumb thing to say, but it doesn't matter because we know what he meant, and what he meant was, look, after I finish playing, I want to be able to move around. He just said it inartfully because he said meetings. Because I'll tell you what happens in meetings. Mostly you don't stand in meetings. Mostly meetings are. This is mostly what you do in a meeting.
Looks like he's having issues sitting too.
And my knee is fine right now. Right? So I just want to. So it's just funny.
Derrick Rose's knees are older than yours.
It's funny. It's a funny quote, and then he was unfairly. I was finished the rest. Here's what. We got one more little bit from Derrick Rose. So Rose says, I don't want to be in my meetings all sore. I didn't even know about that part. I don't want to be all sore in those meetings. Nothing makes a meeting worse than if you're sore. You're like, oh, this guy is droning on and on and on about how we need to reach more people on more platforms, and my back aches.
His ears might be bleeding.
Or be at my son's graduation all sore just because of something I did in the past. Just learning and being smart. So it's a, you know, everybody allows, it's funny because when kids say, I want to be able to play ball with my kids and pick them up when they're young and run around with them, I don't want to be limping through that. Right. Then you can't say anything. So really the only problem here is that he threw in meetings, and it doesn't matter because we know what he means. What he means is he wants to be able to participate in life when he's in his 40s. Yes. So here's what Steve Rosenbloom, columnist for the Chicago Tribune, followed that up. I'm loath to tell Rose to shut up, but get ready, he's about to, because then we'd all be denied new stupidometer readings the way we're being denied Rose's participation on the court because of the anticipated Herculean demands of standing for pomp and circumstance in about 16 years. So, okay, if we criticize Rose, I think we can criticize Rosenbloom. I'm a pretty good out loud reader, and I've read that quote a few times now. That's a shitty sentence.
It's bad syntax.
That is a shitty sentence, Steve Rosenbloom, and you're a professional writer. You should know better.
Where do you think Rosenbloom falls on the stupid-o-meter.
So it just, I agree with you. Let's finish out what Rosenbloom has to say. Rose needs a friend. Does Rose have a friend? Rose needs a friend because a friend would tell him how dumb he sounds and looks.
It's also a pretty dumb sentence.
It's not a great sentence, and a couple of sentences there, and then one more.
He goes on. Well, there's a few.
I don't know if that's his brother or agent putting that garbage in his head, but it's one of the most embarrassing things a player can say. It wasn't that bad. Thing is, it's not embarrassing. It's funny. Thing is, it's not just that statement is idiotic. It's that he apparently believes it. It's galling and stupid, and Rose doesn't seem smart enough to understand why. Bulls trying to win a title gave him $95 million contract toward that end, and they get that horse shit. So I don't. Again, like Steve Rosenbloom is, got him on the specifics because he said meeting, but we know what he means, and we know what he means, and we're seeing athlete after athlete, mostly football players, who are hobbled late in their career. But Rose is a particular basketball player who has suffered 2 debilitating injuries. Lower extremity injuries, and he is allowed to worry about that. And as the coach said, he's got a hamstring injury. And now we read from doctors that guys who have the knee injuries that Rose has had are likely to get some hamstring injuries because the hamstring, I don't know whether it's over.
It just seems like his whole lower half is falling apart.
Yeah, but I mean, that's too extreme too. He's injured, and he might need some time off. And whereas the Spurs rest Tim Duncan, who's never been hurt. Right?
Yeah, they play him. They call it monitoring his minutes, which they do
monitor his minutes for the last 3 or 4
doing.
years now. They've done it really in the last 3.
Not just Duncan, Ginobili.
Yeah,
too.
Ginobili and Parker too. They'll rest these guys because they're older and they've put in a lot of minutes. You need to. I would say that for the rest of Derrick Rose's career, for a few years anyway, you might need to treat him as if not that he's 24, as if he's 34, because those knees have been through hell, and it may well be by the time he's 28 that they're okay, and he's going to have 4 more good years. Although a good chance they won't be in Chicago. So. Just everybody needs to bring it down. It's fun to do this story and laugh at Derrick Rose because he said something super dumb. Yeah. But it was just, it's a mistake. It's not, he didn't mean it. He doesn't mean meetings. But what he was trying to say simultaneously is I want to be able to play with my kids, and I'm a smart guy who's going to be in a meeting. Because you know who goes to meetings? Smart guys.
Right.
So
I'm giving Derrick Rose and Steve Rosenbloom a 6 on the stupid-o-meter.
No, I'm going to give Derrick Rose a pass because he made a mistake. Steve Rosenbloom thought it out, and Steve Rosenbloom knew he made a mistake. We all know what he means. He means carry his kid and play with his kids and not limp. That's it. We know what he meant. Steve Rosenbloom acted like Derrick Rose was like, I'm going to be 41 years old. I'm going to be in a meeting. I don't want to be all sore.
We need a quantitative measurement on this.
I don't want to be all sore for my meeting. By the way, I feel like every meeting I'm going to have for the rest of my life, I'm going to be like,
sore.
At least some point in that meeting, I'm going to be like,
my knees.
I'm really sore in this meeting. This is really, anybody have any questions? I can't. I'm too sore. I can't even raise my hand. I wish I hadn't played. I wish I hadn't played so much. I wish I hadn't played so hard when I was a kid.